There are places in Scandinavia where mountains rise straight from the ocean, where the sun stays in the sky long after midnight, where the darkness comes alive with colors dancing above the Arctic, and where a hotel is rebuilt every winter, only to disappear when spring arrives. These places sound impossible, like something created for a fantasy movie, but they are real. Hidden in the far north of Europe, they have survived for thousands of years, untouched by the modern world. Today, we are traveling across Scandinavia to discover 7 wonders that prove nature can create things more incredible than imagination. When people think about Europe, they often imagine ancient cities, famous landmarks, and crowded streets. But far away from the noise, there is another side of Europe, a place where nature still controls the landscape, where endless forests meet the sea, where frozen winters transform entire worlds, and where summer brings sunlight, even through the night. This is Scandinavia, the northern region of Europe, home to Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, a land shaped not by humans, but by millions of years of natural forces. Glaciers carved enormous valleys. The ocean created hidden islands, and the sky itself became a natural light show. Some of these wonders appear only for a short time. Others have existed since the Ice Age. But all of them share one thing. They remind us how powerful nature truly is. Let's begin with the landscape that made Scandinavia famous around the world. Wonder 1. The Norwegian Fjords. Imagine standing on the edge of a mountain cliff. Cold wind moving across your face. Far below, deep blue water cuts through towering mountains. Waterfalls fall from cliffs hundreds of meters high. Small villages sit quietly beside the shoreline, and everything around you feels completely silent. This is the Norwegian Fjords. At first glance, they look almost too perfect to be natural, like someone carved these valleys by hand. But their true story is even more incredible. Millions of years ago, during the Ice Age, massive glaciers slowly moved across Norway. These enormous rivers of ice carved through solid rock, creating deep valleys between the mountains. When the glaciers melted, the ocean filled those valleys, and the fjords were born. Some reach more than 1,000 meters deep. Some stretch hundreds of kilometers inland. Among them, Norwegian Fjord remains one of the most breathtaking, surrounded by cliffs, waterfalls, and untouched nature. It shows what happens when the Earth has millions of years to create something extraordinary. But the fjords are only the beginning, because our next wonder doesn't come from the land, from the sky itself. Wonder 2. The Northern Lights. Imagine standing in the middle of a frozen landscape, far away from city lights. The world is completely dark, and suddenly, the sky begins to move. Green waves appear above you. Colors twist and dance across the darkness. No sound, no warning, just a natural light show, created millions of kilometers away. This is the Northern Lights, also known as the Aurora Borealis. For centuries, people across Scandinavia looked at this mysterious glow and wondered what they were seeing. Some believed it was magic. Others thought it was a message from the gods. But the real explanation is just as fascinating. The Northern Lights happen when particles from the sun travel through space and collide with Earth's atmosphere. That collision creates the colorful lights we see dancing across the sky. Northern Norway, Sweden's Lapland, and parts of Finland are among the best places on Earth to witness this phenomenon. And for many travelers, seeing the aurora for the first time becomes a memory they never forget. Because for a few moments, you are not watching nature, you are watching the universe itself. Wonder 3. The Midnight Sun. For most people, night means darkness. But in the far north of Scandinavia, summer changes the rules. The sun rises and simply refuses to disappear. Hours pass, then more hours, but the horizon stays bright. Welcome to the midnight sun. Above the Arctic Circle, during the summer months, the Earth tilts in a way that allows sunlight to reach these regions continuously. In places like northern Norway and Sweden, the sun can remain visible for weeks. Imagine hiking through mountains at midnight without needing a flashlight, fishing on a quiet lake under golden sunlight, or walking through a peaceful village while the rest of the world is sleeping. For locals, the midnight sun is more than a natural event. Changes the rhythm of life. Long summer evenings become a time for outdoor adventures, family gatherings, and enjoying every extra hour of daylight. It is a reminder that our planet still has places where nature follows its own rules. Wonder 4. The Lofoten Islands. Far above the Arctic Circle, where the ocean meets dramatic mountains, there is a chain of islands that looks almost unreal. This is the Lofoten Islands. Sharp mountain peaks rise directly from the sea. Colorful fishing villages sit between cliffs. White beaches stretch beside Arctic waters, and small red cabins stand quietly along the coastline. The strange thing is, Lofoten feels like a place from another world. But people have lived here for thousands of years. 4 generations. Fishing communities survived in this harsh environment. They followed the ocean, adapted to the changing seasons, and built a simple life surrounded by nature. Today, travelers come from around the world to experience its untouched beauty. But what makes Lofoten special is not only the landscape, it is the feeling, the silence, the fresh ocean air, the sense that nature is still bigger than anything humans can create. We've traveled through deep fjords, watched the sky come alive, stood beneath a midnight sun, and explored islands at the edge of the world. But Scandinavia still has more surprises, because our next wonders prove that even human creations can become part of nature's story. Wonder 5. Sweden's Icehotel. Every winter, in a small village in northern Sweden, something impossible appears. A hotel, made entirely from ice. Not decorated with ice. Not covered with ice. Built from frozen water itself. This is the Icehotel, located in Jukkasjärvi. It is the world's first hotel created from snow and ice. Everything is frozen. The walls, the rooms, the sculptures, even the glasses used by guests. But the most incredible part is that it never stays the same. Every spring, when temperatures rise, the hotel slowly disappears. The rooms melt, the artwork vanishes, and the ice returns to the river where it came from. Then winter arrives again, and artists from around the world return to create a completely new hotel. No 2 ice hotels are ever identical. Each one exists for only one season. The ice itself comes from the nearby Torne River, carefully collected and transformed into a temporary masterpiece. It is one of the few places on Earth where architecture is not designed to last forever. It is designed to disappear beautifully. Wonder 6. Måns Klint. When people imagine Denmark, they often picture colorful buildings, historic streets, and peaceful countryside. But along Denmark's eastern coast, there is a landscape that feels completely unexpected. Huge white cliffs, rising above the blue Baltic Sea. This is Måns Klint. At first sight, the view almost looks unreal. Bright white cliffs, green forest, clear water below, a landscape that seems painted by an artist. But the story behind these cliffs goes back millions of years. Around 70 million years ago, This area was hidden beneath an ancient sea. Tiny sea creatures left behind layers of shells, which slowly became thick chalk deposits. During the Ice Age, massive glaciers pushed and lifted the land, creating the cliffs we see today. Standing below Mons Clint, you are not just looking at a beautiful view. You are looking at a piece of Earth's history, written over millions of years. Wonder 7. The Stockholm Archipelago. Now imagine a city, surrounded not by roads, but by thousands of islands, some covered with forests, some holding tiny wooden cabins, some with nothing except a lighthouse and the sound of waves. This is the Stockholm Archipelago, stretching across the Baltic Sea. It contains nearly 30,000 islands and rocky formations. Yet despite being close to Sweden's capital, many of these islands remain peaceful and untouched. During summer, locals leave the busy city behind. They travel by ferry toward quiet islands, where life moves slower. There are no giant resorts, no crowded attractions, just forest, the ocean, simple cabins, and time to breathe. For many Scandinavians, nature is not a place they escape to. It is a part of everyday life. Place to reconnect, slow down, and remember what truly matters. We've crossed frozen landscapes, stood beneath ancient cliffs, and discovered islands where time feels slower. Each wonder looks different, but they all share the same message. Nature does not need to be improved to become extraordinary. Sometimes, the greatest creations are the ones we simply allow to exist. But there is still one final question. How did these places remain so beautiful, while so much of the world changed around them? We've traveled through ancient fjords, watched the northern lights paint the sky, stood beneath the midnight sun, explored islands at the edge of the Arctic, and discovered landscapes shaped over millions of years. Each place was different, but they all shared one simple truth. They were not created to impress the world. They were created because nature was given the time and space to do what it does best. And perhaps that is the greatest wonder of Scandinavia. Not just the mountains, not just the forest, not just the incredible landscapes, but the relationship between people and the world around them. For centuries, many societies have tried to control nature, build over it, replace it, move faster than it. But across Scandinavia, there is a different idea. Nature is not something to escape from. It is something to live with. People spend weekends walking through forests. Families gather beside lakes. Children grow up exploring the outdoors. And communities protect the landscapes that future generations will inherit. Because these places are not seen as possessions. They are seen as something borrowed, something valuable, something worth protecting. Maybe that is why Scandinavia feels so different. The real luxury here is not expensive hotels, not technology, not endless entertainment. It is silence, clean air, open space, and the feeling of being somewhere where the world has not forgotten how to slow down. From the Norwegian fjords to the Swedish Icehotel, from Denmark's ancient cliffs to the endless islands of Stockholm, these wonders remind us of something important. The earth does not need to become more impressive. Sometimes, it simply needs to be left alone. Because the greatest masterpiece is not what humans create. It is what nature creates, when we give it the chance. And perhaps, that is the true wonder of Scandinavia.